Hi, it's my pleasure to be here talking about music education in early childhood. Parents often ask when their young children shall start to learn music and what to learn. Today, I will approach such questions from the perspective of age appropriateness. I hope this presentation will help answer some of your questions and provide insights for you to plan for your child's music learning. Allow me to briefly introduce myself. I'm Eric. I have been working in music education for more than a decade and lecturing in different universities and institutions. My research interests cover sociology and psychology of music, early childhood education, and teacher training. I was also a stage performer and representing Hong Kong in different music concerts and international competitions. Today, as a music educator, I'm going to share my thoughts on how to best support children's musical development and what the benefits are of having music education. When children start learning music has puzzled a lot of parents. There is a popular saying goes, privilege leads to a head start. Parents in Hong Kong send their children to different cultural and music classes as young as 2 years old, and sometimes even earlier. So, what does the research say? Kodai, one of the most famous music educators, suggested that music education should start from 9 months before birth. You may question, is the fetus able to hear music such as early stage? Absolutely. Ultrasound technology helps us to understand how the fetus responds. Hearing is the first sense to develop. When exposed to different kinds of music, the fetus responds differently by showing changes in heart rate and also movement, and even facial expression. So, the fetus does respond to music, and it would also stimulate their intellectual growth after birth. Prenatal music nurturing should begin as soon as the mother knows she is pregnant. Research shows that prenatal music has a lot of benefits to children. Singing to the unborn child enhances future language ability. Also, the bonding between an unborn child and her parents will be strengthened. Furthermore, prenatal music can contribute to having a better vocabulary and higher IQ. After birth, infants before 3 learn about the world by using their senses to interact with their surroundings. Their hearing ability is rapidly developing and is like a sponge and absorbs all the music they listen to during that period. They are also building the music listening vocabulary. There is more exposure, stronger networks in her brain, and more information she could draw upon in the future. Unfortunately, hearing is also one of the senses that first degenerate. Besides, 70% of the brain cells are eliminated at 3 years old. It implies that all abundant cells before 3 will be lost. Music training could help benefit children's intellectual growth. But first, we may wonder what music education should their children receive. Shall we start with piano, violin? My suggestion is that enrolling children into music classes by considering their age-related ability, that is cognitive, fine motor, and oral skills. Also, preschool children develop their musical memory through musical activity. From birth, infants respond to music with their whole bodies through movement. We can build up their music listening vocabulary at this period. But what is music listening vocabulary? That is all of the music she can absorb before she begins to participate in music. But one piece of advice. By the time of our child is 3 years old, it is almost too late for some to acquire music listening vocabulary. How to develop music listening vocabulary? I would suggest playing the instrumental music, which is short in length, usually less than 3 minutes, and with a lot of repetition. Playing a large variety of music, for example, different styles, dynamics, tonality, harmonies, meters, would be preferred. Children aged 3 could reproduce a song in the same key under repeated exposure. However, children that are 5 or 6 years old could not do that. They could only remember the song according to the shape of the melody. Also, as research suggests, the chances of them developing absolute pitch ability is very slim if they only start learning music after 8 years old. From a neuroscientific point of view, the possession of absolute pitch may be due to the prenum temporal being molded into a specific neural circuit during childhood music training. All in all, before the age of 3, it is crucial, absolutely crucial, to build up their music listening vocabulary by listening different kinds of music. Moving with the music involves gross motor muscle will help them understand the music. For children aged 3 to 5, their cognitive and oral skills are developing. I would suggest to give children music activities that involving singing, listening, and movement. After 5, fine motor skills are developed, and it is time to have children in more advanced music classes, for example, instrumental learning. So, what are the benefits of music education? There are manifold benefits supported by neuroscience. Singing activates the entire brain, but certain parts of it are more engaged when learning particular aspects of the song. It also has a positive effect on language development, speech, and comprehension. Instrumental learning could activate audio-motor networks, which also link to pressure centers and increases voluntary attention. To conclude, music education should start before birth, the most critical period of development of listening abilities from birth to 3 years old. Age-appropriate music education gives children a head start. When we choose music classes for the children, we need to consider their age-related abilities, their cognitive, fine motor, and also oral skills. I would suggest that young infants could start with developing music listening vocabulary, and when they reach 3, they should start to participate in singing, movement, and oral classes. They could begin instrumental lessons from 5 years old when their fine motor muscles are developed. Music education gives extensive benefits, such as positive effects on language development and activities in different sectors of the brain. So it is time to plan your children's music development. Thank you.